Right? The age of computers have brought a new era of great technological advances. It has made it easier to access virtually unlimited amount of information. And with this ease of information on the web, a new type of crime has developed throughout the recent decades. It is called cybercrime. And cybercrime involves the use of a computer as an instrument to further illegal ends, such as committing fraud, trafficking intellectual property, stealing identities, or invasion of privacy. My proposition is that the regulations on the internet are inadequate to effectively deter cybercrime, and my reasons are as follows. Because current internet regulations have failed to deter most cases involving invasion of privacy, cyber theft has become an increasing problem due to low regulations, and finally because cyber terrorism has become an increasing threat to national security. In cases of invasion of privacy, a hacker can potentially invade an individual's personal computer or business and make off with digital information. They can use this digital information in various ways. The criminal can publish any of your photos to the public in an effort to embarrass you, or make a quick buck and try to sell them to the highest bidder. As in the case of the celebrity photo leaks, you guys have probably heard of that, where a person illegally breached security to obtain those images. Another way the digital information can be used is by running up huge bills from credit card info or stealing your identity altogether. Usually the victim of identity theft does not know of the theft until it's too late. And these criminals are difficult to prosecute due to the anonymity of the web. Cases of cyber theft account for millions of dollars lost annually to both businesses and individuals in the United States. The U.S. Attorney for New Jersey stated that the use of computers is a tool to steal in the way that people used to steal with their gun. You can steal an enormous amount more money by clicking on your computer screen in just 1 second than you can by walking into a bank with a gun. Most cases of internet fraud are not solved, and the result is monetary loss. In 2003, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, released the first national survey on cyber theft. It reported 3.3 Americans had their identity stolen, and 6.6 million Americans were victims of account theft. Internet fraud has also been prevalent in the United States, and the U.S. Internet Crime Complaint Center reported money loss was tripled from the years from 2001 to just 2002. And this money is virtually unrecoverable. National security has been compromised by cyber terrorism. Terrorist groups and individuals have hacked into national defenses for either espionage or criminal activity. In the wake of the September 11 attacks, cyber terrorism has become more prevalent. Cyber attacks can cripple the nation's infrastructure through sabotage, such as sabotaging the electrical grid or air traffic control, and causing chaos throughout the nation. There's currently no federal statute imposing general data security standards on business in all industries. And in 2012, Senator John Rockefeller IV, the chairman of the Senate Committee in Commerce, Science, and Transportation, sent letters to every CEO of the Fortune 500 companies, stressing the immediate cyber threats the country faces, urging them to reconsider their position on cybersecurity regulations. Proponents of stricter federal legislation argue, while there is a cost to doing more to improve cybersecurity, there is a bigger cost if we do not, and that cost is not measured not only in dollars, but in national security and public safety. So, in conclusion, the regulations on the internet are inadequately to effectively deter cybercrime. And I would like to end with by letting you know that you guys should be very careful while on the internet, because privacy is currently non-existent, and there may be criminals out there looking for your information to cause you harm.
All right, Luis, the propositions identified. There's a pretty good preview, although it's not clear to me why the terrorism issue is connected here, except that it, of course, has to do with security online, because it's, although it is kind of a crime, it's not a crime that's directed towards individuals. It doesn't deal with the privacy issue as much, and certainly not the economic security of an individual. I think there are bigger issues here. It sounds like it might make a better separate argument, and that way you could focus a little bit more on what the threat is to individuals or even to companies. At the end of the speech, it sounds like that letter from Senator Rockefeller was addressing resistance by companies to imposing some kind of security standards. But it was not quite clear what the inadequacies are and what the costs would be. And of course, since some of this data is a little bit old, that was a 2012 thing. You had data from 2001 to 2002, the increase in the amount of cybercrime that's going on. It seems to me like there's a lot of focus nowadays on these kinds of breaches that you mentioned. Where are you? I know you're out there somewhere. There you are. These kinds of breaches that are going on. We got the celebrity hack that you just talked about. Everybody can probably mention 3 or 4 of these hacks of big companies that have happened in the last year. We had Target, we had Kmart, we had Home Depot. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of those things. So it's not as if people are unaware that these sorts of things are going on. The question is the lack of security. Would it change if we had a national standard, or would it be better in some way? What are the liabilities of the companies versus individuals? Because let's face it, if individuals come out and they don't feel like they are harmed in any way, shape, or form, they're not likely to be itching for any kind of increased cost being imposed on them. But your position is, just the fact that you escaped this one time doesn't mean that it's going to continue, that you're going to continue to escape, and that inevitably somebody is going to, feel the sting of this kind of crime. And because it goes on, I mean, your argument comes down to the fact that the crime exists proves that the security is inadequate. I don't know about that. There's always somebody who's clever enough to get around something. There's always some kind of issue that's going on. And a lot of these breaches, for instance, are very sophisticated kinds of things. It's not just some guy sitting in his basement trolling for your information. There are sophisticated organizations of hackers in China and Russia who are trying to steal data, sometimes for political reasons, but a lot of times it's just like Russian mob is just, here's a great way to steal money, and they're working at that, and they spend a lot of time and energy doing those kinds of things. I think that's the kind of thing that we ought to be talking about. What could we do that would be better, that we're not doing now? That's the thing that's missing from the argument. I'm just saying something isn't enough. Well, is there something that we're not doing that would be enough? What would be enough? Bigger penalties, missile attacks, we drone attack people who violate these kinds of things. I don't know. I don't know what would work. That just felt like the part that was underdeveloped. All right, thank you very much.